about who I am and what we did. So my name is Sarah Klopatek. I got my Ph.D. from Davis in 2021, and I'm now a postdoc in beef cattle sustainability. And we realized there was an issue. There was all this talk about niche marketing, but there wasn't a one-stop shop. And so what Teresa and I did was, okay, let's build a website so where any producer had a question, they were able to go to the website and to answer all their questions. And I'm so glad Vince went first because this plays a lot on what Vince said. So I'm going to share my screen and go to the website. The website is in the chat. Anybody that has questions while I'm going through this, please, you can put them in the chat or you can speak aloud, whatever is easiest. So here is our niche marketing website. It's at ucanr.edu/site/niche marketing. And what we have here is on our homepage, we have our big species. We do have poultry, and I'll click on here. Our poultry links us to another niche market website that was designed by our big poultry guys at UC Davis and at their veterinary health. So if you have poultry questions, they're all there. We have, of course, in goat, pork, lamb, and mutton, and beef. So I have a preference for beef, so we're going to start there today. So if you click on beef, and every one of the species will have this kind of format. We'll have processing and cut and wrap locations, rules and regulations, animal nutrition performance, economics, best management practices, and product labels. And those are my steers in this picture. I just have to point that out. Aren't they handsome? All right, so one thing that was talked about by Vince was, all right, so you are ready to go. You want to have your animals harvested. The problem is it's sometimes difficult to find out where you can go and what they do. So on this site, you can click on your species. You can click on the page for harvesting, and this will give you the website. It will give you the location. It will give you what type of harvesting they do, how many. Because some will harvest, but they won't cut and wrap for you. So there's just some weird nuances about different facilities. And then whether or not it is USDA inspected or state inspected. And this is a really important difference because if you're hearing that state inspected and you might want to get your animals harvested there and then sell them, it is not legal to do that. In other states, you can go to a state inspected plant and then sell your meat from there. And in California, it has to be USDA inspected. So I just want people to know that. So, and then also on here, if you would like to do an organic, it does list what plants do organic and which do not. And again, every species, pork, also has this. Let's jump over to pork and see their processing locations because pork's a little different. What it will also have for pork is whether or not they do smoked meat. So if you want to do any kind of sausages or anything like that, and if you want anything smoked, you need to make sure that that facility also has the ability to have a smokehouse. So that's really important when you're looking at where you're getting your animals harvested. So let's go back over to the beef page, the beef main page, and see what else we're looking at. Vince also talked about economics, and the big thing that is very helpful, and I did this when I was raising my steers, is what is your break even? How much money do you need to make to where you have not lost any money, you haven't made any money? And on this page, this can help walk you through it. It talks a little bit about each species industry, and then it will give you a lot of information on cost reductions, what you need to do. And then at the end of this, we have calculators that we built. UCANR has built calculators, but then we built additional calculators. And on here we have, so there's a grass-fed beef calculator. So if you're interested in doing grass-fed beef, if you're a cow-calf producer, there's a budget on here. And let me just show you one of the calculators on here. So here's one of our calculators, and you guys can manipulate it any way that you want. And so you can just put in here the live weight, what you're expecting the animal to be at the end. Dressing percentage, if you are going to do a grass-fed operation, just letting you know your dressing percentage will most likely be a lot lower than if you're going to do conventional or grain finishing. So for grass-fed beef operations, you're looking at 55 to 60 costs. I have basic costs in here right now, and you can manipulate it how you want, and you can say, okay, this is how much I need to make to break even. And there's calculators for every species. So if you have any questions, you want to know how much things cost, that is on here, and that is on there for beef, pork, sheep, and goat. So some of the questions might be on labels. So what is all natural? What is grass-fed? What is grass-finished? What do, like, hormone-free? Because it can get a little overwhelming. And then, of course, your consumers are asking all these questions as well. There's a great deal of information about all the labels and what they mean. And then on here in this first paragraph, on the majority of the species, you say click here, and that gives you all of the FDA, or excuse me, FSIS, so the Food Safety Inspection Services. It gives you all of their USDA definitions, and so what to do to get a label and what that label needs to mean. So if you want a grass-fed label, there's certain requirements that you need to follow, and that tells you what you need to do. Okay, all right, so then we can move over to pork. We can go over to pork. And then over here, in addition to economics and where you should harvest, there's information here on raising your animals. So nutrition is obviously a big part of that. So there's information on toxic plants, how much, what's your grain requirement, can I have my pigs on pasture? What about water quality? How much water do they need? Are there any toxins we need to look for? And then, of course, carcass quality, what should I be looking for? Because it's, of course, really important to know, all right, this is what my animal looks like at the end of the day. This is its hot carcass weight. This is its meat quality. How does that compare to everyone else? How does this look? What am I striving for? So all of that information is on these web pages. And again, we'll go over here to sheep. Sheep has the same information. It has all of the information on how they digest their food, what kind of food they need to eat, how do you do proper grazing management with sheep, water quality. So any questions that you have will hopefully be on here, but if not, this will be continuing to be developed over time and continually improved. So we'll then go, since we're on nutrition, we'll go back over to beef. So beef, again, it's another ruminant, so it goes into grazing management and raising beef, and then it goes into different beef systems as far as carcass quality. What is the difference between grass-fed or finishing a grain for a short time? There's research on here about what system produces what type of product, so including things like meat quality and taste. So hopefully there's a healthy amount of information to get somebody started. And then also all of the links on here are embedded within the system, and so they're connected to different PDFs, and so we don't have to worry about those links going dead. So that's the good news on this. But any questions? I'll stop sharing for now.